I think a lot of folks are already really familiar and intimately acquainted with the housing crisis, but there has been some talk on social media recently questioning if there is a housing crisis in Tahoe. So we wanted to include some data for those who are not intimately aware. So for high-level data, median home prices have more than doubled since 2013. That's according to the Realtors Association's own data. They put out a market report last fall. Median rents have increased by 44% in the same time frame. And the TRPA noted in their 2022 Tackling the Tahoe Housing Crisis letter that half of the Lake Tahoe workers in Lake Tahoe now live outside the region. And of those who do live here, nearly 2/3 do not earn enough to afford the typical expenses or living expenses of a typical family. So next slide. We have seen a 10% population decline according to census data since 2000, but it's worth noting that 24%, we've seen a 24% decline in working age population. So that's a loss of approximately 4,000 working age adults, age 19 to 49. And a 35% population loss of our youth population, a loss of roughly 2,500 school-age children, age 5 to 19. And for context, in California as a whole, the working age adult population has actually increased by 7%, and the youth has only declined by 2%. So just to put in contrast, we are seeing quite a larger dip than other parts of the state. The way that has affected our schools is one of the most critical aspects. So one thing that it seems to not be known by everyone is that the vast majority of school funding in California comes from enrollment, and specifically it's attendance-based funding. So as our enrollment declines, we see a major dip in our school budgets, and we've seen that actually reflected on recent ballot as we've had to vote in for new taxes to make up the difference. So there's been a 36% decline at LTUSD in enrollment since 2000. And we actually now have, unfortunately, 136 school children in our district experiencing homelessness, and that is up significantly from last year. So you can see those stats there, pretty tough number to see. The housing crisis has also had a major impact on businesses. So there was a survey done of South Shore employers in 2019, and when polled, 89% of South Lake employers said that affordable housing is either the single most critical problem or among the most critical problems that their business is facing. And when they were asked if anyone refused a job offer or left their employment in the past month, 49% of employers said they had someone decline a job offer or leave their employment because they could not find or afford suitable housing. And 19% said that they had something like that happen because employees couldn't find adequate transportation. So these are major issues affecting our business community.
And so in response to a lot of this business need, the Tahoe Prosperity Center studied what is the overall housing need in the South Shore region. And some quotes that came from their employer survey include: the biggest challenge with recruiting for South Lake Tahoe is the cost of living, available housing, and the pool of qualified candidates. Another business owner said, I have had candidates scheduled for interviews, and then after they look for housing in the basin, they cancel. We have lost several potential employees to this issue. And so when adding up all the numbers, they estimated that by 2026, we will be short 3,290 housing units on the South Shore.